Okay, recording. You can just shut the door. They're fine. Like I'll get in trouble. Anyway, welcome to the final sync for TCL 7. How? Why? What? When? I can't even.
So fast.
It's been like incredible to watch the like growth in teamwork though. It's been like, this has been one of my favorite cohorts to see like come in, nervous to take it on, and then all of a sudden at the end you're like working together flawlessly, collaborating like professionals, all kinds of new skills developed, and it's just been an absolute pleasure to watch. So great job, great work. I'm gonna miss you all. I'm excited to see what the app looks like. This is my favorite week because I get to see like this beautiful thing that you built. So if Michael or Ale, you wanna kick off demos, I can do retros, and
sure,
we'll do the thing,
right.
The last thing.
Yeah, first one. All right. So you worked as a group, like a group of 4. So let's see what you got. Who wants to start to share the screen? Maybe
I can share the screen if you want.
Cool.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's see. So, gotta get out of all of the things.
Wow, look at those tabs.
Yeah, you have a couple tabs.
Listen,
I know,
I
this is kind of a light. My brain starts going all over the place, and I'm like, I use a tab manager, but it's just not enough. Most of these are Tailwind, though. That's kind of funny. So we're just trying to customize the look and feel of our add item list and our item detail list. And we did do a little bit of the grocery list item list too, because I think somehow that one got closed maybe before it was done. But so this is the current add item shopping list. We tried out Tailwind, which was new for everybody, a little bit harder to install than I thought. But thanks to Nabil for kind of like spearheading that and then walking us through kind of a little bit how it works. And so I'm still having a few little issues with like some things that I want to customize that I can't seem to figure out how to do. So still working on that. And then if we go to the grocery list, so today I added a little background, just FYI, and we go to the item detail. Here's the detail list. It's very nice and organized and clean.
Yes.
If we go to the PR, I've got some before and after. So a huge change, but just a little bit. Trying out some of the Tailwind standard colors. I did try to do some custom colors, but that seemed to be a little bit harder than I thought, but still learning.
Because we had the background the week before, the wonderful background you and Tansy did.
And the only complaint I sort of have about Tailwind is if you look at like these class names, I've got all of this, these parameters, which I don't know how to maybe figure out a way to make that a little cleaner and easier to read, but that's my only complaint with Tailwind so far, besides just getting used to how to work it. Anybody else?
I like Tailwind better than Bootstrap.
I think to keep that a little less verbose, you can cascade the styles down. So the styles that are more global, like font size, default font size and stuff, you can like elevate higher in the DOM, and then the child elements will inherit that.
Yeah, so that's not a ton to talk about through and through, but it was fun to experiment with a new resource, which I know I've heard a lot about on the internet, but yeah. Anybody else want to say anything?
All good on my end.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with everything too. Like I think the only thing I'd want to say is like thank you, Stacey for helping with that with me, like with that merge. It was so beautiful, like how it just happened. I was like, oh my god. So that was amazing. So thank you for that. And in terms
so
of like the
proud
CSS,
of you for doing
like,
that.
well, no, thank you. That like was a gem. I was like, wow, these instructions, they work. So like, thank you for passing them on, and like,
Thank Ale, not me.
for sure. So yeah, but that's all I had like on the app. Like, yeah, like Megan and Nabil, thank you guys for like taking that forward. I think on the CSS stuff.
This looks incredible. I am so proud of you all. This is fantastic. And like, I would highly encourage you to continue working on it if you want. If you want to keep styling this, do it. If you want to add new features to it, do it. If you just want to go into the GitHub issues and list out a bunch of features that you think would be cool to have and practice creating documentation, do it. This is your app to do with it what you will. Now that's kind of like in a more final state, if you want to take time to like do a video walkthrough of the code for your portfolios or something, this is a perfect time to do it because it's fresh, and can be something really nice to add like as you go into interviews or as you're trying to meet up and network with people to send them something that you built. This is incredible. Your teamwork has been inspiring. Anything else on the code before we jump into our final retros?
I just want to say,
Hey, Nabil.
hey, sorry about that. No, it was like super interesting to actually like implement it in an app. I can definitely appreciate if we would have done this in the very beginning, how easy it would be at this point. So this was almost like a complete refactor. We right now have like we have the CSS styling that we tried originally, and then because we're doing the styling at the end, it made it more complex. But I think everybody jumped to the complexity and was able to really handle it. But yeah, no, it was tons of fun. It was great to actually see what I thought it was going to be as easy as like linking off to I thought it was just going to be like an easy link, but it has layers to it. This post CSS, there's like a config portion of Tailwind that has to, like, even it took me into like the build, like how every time you do npm start, there's actually specific builds that are done for Tailwind. So you can actually type in like a class and then you see it like that. It just gave me an appreciation for all the different layers that go into just creating an app.
For sure. 100. It's complex. Okay, well with that, brilliant job, brilliant app, brilliant team, and I love you all. Okay, I'll tell you more about why I love you in the retro, but let me share with you the link to it in the chat here. And as per usual, we will take, we're like so far ahead of schedule since we kind of just had one demo. We'll take 10 minutes to throw some cards in there. When you're done, write down in the chat. If everybody finishes early, we'll hit it early. And do the thing. Be kind, be transparent. This is our time for growth and love, and let's do it. Ready, set, go. Looks like we got one more. Devon, I'll give you 1 more minute. If that works. Oh. Maybe.
I'm done.
Oh, great.
Why is my video not starting? Okay.
It's me that needs another minute.
Oh, Nabil, got it. You get another minute. I'll mute so you don't have to listen to my crybaby. Oh, one thing I want to be sure, I want to get like a picture of all of us before we leave our last one. We mean to do that like every time and we never do. And I'm going to do it this time.
You got to tell us so we can be like, cheese.
I'm going to take the most awkward, unprepared one, and that's the one we're going to use.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. You know I wouldn't do that. You know I'm probably the one who cares the most about that kind of stupid shit. Like, I need to be ready.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, ready. Thank you.
Let's do
That's
it.
perfect.
Okay. So I guess I will share my screen and we will jump into our final retro. Share screen. Go here. Am I looking at the right thing? Yes, I am. All right, we're just gonna run down the list. We'll start with appreciations, and Alejandro, you're up.
All right. So I'm thankful and grateful for being part of TCL. So I can do mentoring, which is something that I really like. And also I'm really thankful for having the opportunity to help into your growth. And yeah, that makes me really happy. And yeah, that's it.
I love it.
Thank you for
Nabil.
your...
Oh, sorry, Ale. I need to cut you off.
It's fine.
Penguin Nabil. Or Puffin. I don't know if you're a penguin or a puffin.
I feel like it's I thought it was a penguin. It's definitely a puffin. So I just want to say thanks to all the mentors for just like handling mentoring while also having a 9-to-5.
For real.
That is not easy at all. Willingly volunteering your time to help us out is I can't express how appreciative I am of that. You literally my first partner ever collaborating in code. So thank you so much. That was you.
Thank you.
And also, I think you have like a gift for keeping everyone in line and getting us organized. You're really focused on the group and how we're operating together. I definitely think that's a strength of yours.
Thank you.
Keeping that glue there.
Thank
Tansy, you're my focus person, always scoping, which is helpful just because it keeps a good cadence of everything. I felt like I definitely saw you inch past your comfort zone, and that also inspired me.
Mm-hmm.
Megan, technical skills are awesome. And I really just liked our conversations outside of just the project itself too. You taught me you gave me a whole bunch of cool resources for creative coding. And it just kept me really excited. Stacy, endless encouragement. I've never met the very first time I was like, is this gonna last the whole time? Are you gonna be this chipper the entire time? And sure enough, this is it's genuine. You are this encouraging. I'm excited for your children because they are gonna see no limits in this world.
For real.
Yeah. Michael, you just gave me so many helpful like concepts to kind of I just learned so much from like a coding concepts in general. You're like, hey, like look at it from this angle, or typically would be like this. You even gave me cool plugins. Alejandro, you are, you just combed over the code so well, and we're able to pull out certain things and be like, this is okay, but you might want to take this approach. That was wonderful. And Andrew, thank you for giving me the opportunity. This is exactly what I needed. As mentioned before, I was coding by myself for like a year and a half, like almost 2 years, like doing this outside of work. So actually getting to be a part of a team, one just was like, oh, I can start building my things now. I think there's that, like, you're not ready yet, you can't do things, like blah, blah. This was the encouragement that I kind of needed to pass by or move on to the next stage. So
that's great.
That was it. Sorry, that was very long-winded, but that's it.
That was beautiful, Nabil. Thank you so much. Michael, you're up. But wait, before that, what are you saying to do here, Andrew?
Oh, just hit cancel, all those little forms. So hit cancel, all the cancel buttons.
Oh, these, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Get to zoom out of it. Okay. Now, Michael, you up.
Yeah. First, I want to thank the Collabbies for putting in 100% effort into all the work that you did. I think that in the end, the product that you built really reflects the amount of growth that you made and the effort that you put in. I think it's really something to be proud about. And I want to also thank Stacy and Alejandro for just being great mentors. You may not know this, or you may know it, but I learn a lot from both of you just watching you be mentors, and how I always think about all the things I like about like how both of you interact with people, and I try to take away things from that. So you've helped me grow too. So thank you for that. Yeah, that's all my stuff.
Devon.
So I guess I'm gonna just give a general shout out to everybody, to Collab Lab and to Andrew. I mean, I think I didn't know what this was. Like, I thought it was a good opportunity. I'm definitely willing to, I think it definitely was like, oh, this is a good idea, good opportunity. I'm gonna hop on it, but I had no idea what it was gonna be but I mean, not in a negative way, just general not knowing. And I think it has been truly amazing. I think it takes a lot to bring everybody together. Like we don't know each other. Like it's not even like, there's like work and it's on board. No, you just like, okay, hey, strangers, we're gonna build an app. Yeah, that's cool. So and I think me personally, I was like Nabil, and I think I've been out here by myself for a while, and I think it's really good to be in a I'll say professional, because actually with the mentors, like this is very professional work situation. So I think that's amazing. It's not just like, oh, we're doing something fun. No, this is how it feels like work, and this is how, a real world environment and getting feedback. So it's been amazing. So, and also Nabil, thank you for your wonderful feedback. I think it's kind of built in. I was a project manager, so it's kind of ingrained in me. But yeah, other than that, yeah, we can. Thank you. So.
That was beautiful. Tansy.
Yeah. So, well, first, like obviously, shout out, excuse me, to like Andrew for this opportunity. Like, definitely, I didn't also like Devon mentioned, I didn't know what this was, but I think every day you learn what is this, in the sense like for instance, like for me, like the mentors, Ali, Stacy, and Michael, thank you for being guides in this whole process, especially at the right time and holding space for us as we stumble and get up, even though there were many times where I was just like, please just give me the answer, I'm in pain. Thank you for not doing that and just like sort of pushing us and everything. Like it just taught me so much. And in terms of my collab partners, you guys were also teachers for me. Like Devon, like thank you for teaching me persistence and like just the way how you flip a situation to see the better. Maybe your capacity to be thorough and detailed and not take shortcuts is like, wow. And you're just like a reservoir of like knowledge. Nabil, thank you for teaching me how to run with inspiration without doubt. It's just like such a joy to see you in that like mode when you're like, oh, there's inspiration, you run after it. So in many ways, like, thank you guys so much for just being teachers in this process for me.
I'm not crying, you are. That was amazing, thank you. Stacy, that's me. Okay, huge appreciation to Ale and Michael for being such supportive mentors and being so full of knowledge and teaching us all sorts of technical things. They both have been my personal mentors as well. And so when I see them mentor in this setting, I'm like, yes, keep doing it. Keep telling people the things so that we can all come up. And I love it. I hear you, bud. Megan, I'm so inspired by your thoughtfulness and the way you like approach everything that you do in a very like calculated way. It's so inspiring. I see that you have a Band-Aid. Very good, bud. Nabil, I appreciate your strong leadership skills. I think they really shone through this whole program, and your ability to like break down really complex topics for everybody else on the team so that you can make sure like everybody's learning and understanding and moving forward together. It's amazing. Tansy, with the endless curiosity and tenacity when it comes to like solving hard problems. Like Tansy doesn't give up, and she like takes things head on, and it's my favorite thing to see. I love it. And Devon, so inspired by your like endless ambition and appreciate your positive demeanor and your eagerness to like try new things. Like everything that gets thrown at you, you just do it with a smile, and it's so powerful. And I think every team needs it, and it's incredible. So you all are amazing, and I love you all. Okay, Megan.
I feel like I got a little short-sighted. I was like forgetting that this was the last week of the whole thing. So I think my retro comments were really just about these past 2 weeks. But I really do want to thank all the mentors and Andrew for giving me this opportunity and for all your help getting through this and like supreme honest feedback on our retros. There are a couple of times where I was like, what? I thought I did that right. But it's good to have that because you want to grow in this kind of situation. And thanks to all my collab mates who I've learned so much from. Just Nabil, again, with leadership, Tansy with willingness to be open and try new things. And Devon, thank you so much for giving prompts to us and like checking in, because sometimes we get a little siloed and I forget, and then you're always like, so what's going on? And I'm like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, there's other people. And just thank you all. I've learned so much from all of you. And I just love having the conversations that aren't even related to Collab Lab too. I like, especially in this time where you're not really connected to people in person. It's so nice to do this work and to not be just focused on this work. I got to know you as people as well.
I love it. I love it so much. Andrew, you have to wrap this one up.
Sweet. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't really been in most of the journey with you and everything, but just it's really fun to kind of come in the last week and I see the final demo, like the state of the app. It's like y'all built such a beautiful functional app, and I mean, it's such a great point, Vaughn, where y'all didn't know each other 2 months ago, and you came together as a team. You got to know each other and figured out how to work together, and just you really got on a roll clearly as the time went on. So I always just so appreciate just the time and energy people put into Collab Lab. You don't have to be here, the mentors don't have to be here. Like we're all volunteers and just like coming together to just like help each other learn, right? So such a great experience, and yeah, just thank you all for everything all the energy you put into it over the last 8 weeks.
Thank you. All right, such good appreciations. So many good things there. Oh, my heart, my whole heart. Okay, what went well? Starting with Nabil.
What happened?
No, sorry, I was looking for the unmute. I have this open in another screen as well. Yeah, so I just one went well in general. I'm doing this as like the whole program. I think the pace and length was just excellent. It's not too long, not or short. I'm just right now being like, need a break from like doing work and this, and it's happening. So that's perfect. Collaborating via Slack with the mentors went really, really well. Pair programming, it was the first time I've done that. It really taught me a lot. Just one about like the importance of language in general, being able to articulate the concepts in word find, and then just support from the team at large definitely helped me push beyond my comfort zone. So I felt like I was with like a group of peers.
Love it. Alejandro.
Right. So well, great teamwork. The last week you worked like all the four together, and yeah, great work. That is impressive to see. And also, I think that's something that didn't happen in the last cohort. Is all the explorations you did, like you started using Bootstrap, and then you're using Tailwind, and you explored like, I know you spent a lot of time like figuring out how to do the estimate work, and you learned a lot. So yeah, like you are basically eager to learn new things. So I'm really proud of you. Good work. Keep doing that.
Yes, totally agree with that. That went so well. Divine.
Yeah, I think it's just the overall teamwork. I'll be honest, I've been impressed. I think it takes a lot to work as a team regardless, and especially in this time, and especially remotely, because maybe not everybody was comfortable working remotely. So I think, yeah, and to say that we're gonna build an app and we're gonna do bits and pieces every week. So yeah, I think just getting that to handle all of the tasks went very well. I mean, it went as best as possible.
Tansy.
So I guess for me, like everything got better as we understood each other, from like documentation to collaboration. And I felt like the last few weeks were like, there was like a state of flow where no one had to really say anything to each other. We knew what each of us had to do. Like I don't know, it was just kind of magical. So I think that was what really went well.
I love that so much. Megan.
Team communication was so great. It was like so nice that everybody is just willing to jump in and help fix problems as they come up or issues. Willingness to go beyond everyone's comfort zones and try new things. There wasn't anybody that was like, you know what, we're not going to do that. That's too hard, which was awesome.
Totally agree. And my one thing that's going to wrap up this column is that the teamwork was amazing, and you've all like honed in on that same thing in your cards. So just super kudos to you all for working so well as a team, especially during such challenging times in life. I am so proud of you. I hope you take this same momentum and these same skills that you've learned working on a team here and apply them to every aspect of your future. You are all incredible, and I love you. Okay, let's move on to what stopped us from making progress or could be improved. I know there are a lot of things here throughout that we've talked about, but if you have anything in particular that you would like to see in the program, don't hold back. We'd love to hear it. We want to make Collab Lab an amazing experience for all future collab mates. Is that what we came up with? I love it. So we'll start with Nabil.
Awesome. Yeah. So let's see. I think just the proper sequence for doing the project. User stories should. I just put it might be more helpful to have like something system level. Just kind of architecture based, like this is the whole lay of the land. Let's break this apart and then go into user stories. Would be really helpful. That way we'd have that holistic vision and we can make some of those top level decisions a little bit better. I'm sure this is a contentious topic, but I feel like the creative portion of it makes it a little bit more difficult to accomplish the base tasks, and it's probably a little far removed from how it would happen in an actual like professional setting, where those things would be like you would just focus on the coding portion of it. And then the third one is just prep work before Collab Lab. I think it would just help people have be able to focus on the creative problem solving portion of it if we had like a rudimentary understanding of maybe like the tech stacks or some like initial concepts like that we could just peruse, and if it was like, oh yeah, I don't know that, just like pick up and learn that before coming to the class or course, cohort, whatever.
I love it. That is excellent feedback. Go ahead.
Can I ask a quick follow-up? So I really like I love this feedback. The creative portion you're talking about, like in a work setting, you would be working with a designer who would basically be kind of like telling you what it's supposed to look like. You mean, is that what you mean?
Yeah. Just the I think what it does by giving like if there's too much creative freedom in this part, it actually introduces a bunch of complexity, and it's more towards the end, which makes it a little hard. It maybe actually that's really good feedback that it could be in the beginning, so you're making creative decisions first, and that actually, I think what I'm talking about is separating the tasks. So if as you're wrapping up the project, if you're also introducing creativity, I think that's prone for that's it could create like a lot of difficulty.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Excellent. Alejandro.
Sure. I think that we have some churn around the styling. So maybe something like Nabil said, it's like, I don't know, like I wish we had more like a, I don't want to say strict, but like a plan, right? From the beginning. So we don't have like we can do whatever we want. So then what we do, like we have infinite options. So maybe we can trim that down at the beginning of the project and say like, okay, this is somehow how it should look maybe, or I don't know. We need to think it through, but yeah, maybe like trim down the options so we can focus more on like the coding side. I don't know. Yeah, we have to talk it through. And yeah, oh yeah, I feel that I haven't been like as much like as present as I wanted to. Like, I don't know, pandemic, work, life. Yeah, especially in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, I've been a bit away, but yeah.
Life happened to all of us through this cohort, I will say. Okay, Devon.
Yeah, so I think the way the structure with the pairs, I think that's great. How we switch off. I mean that's really, it's also kind of cool, kind of something to look forward to, where you're like, oh, I'm working with somebody else next week. So you kind of think about the rotation. But I think Megan had said it, and I know it's been said before, but I think when we do work on our task, it does feel like just like work, and how you're like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, and you're like, this is what I'm doing this week, and then it comes back and you're like, okay, here's what we're doing next week, and you're like, who did what? Like, what did you guys do? So it's like you look at this code and you really aren't familiar. So maybe having, I don't know, not even a meeting, but just kind of a quick retro, even in Slack, for us as a cohort would help, because that way it's like you kind of know where you're going the next week, every week kind of. So you know what the other person did, the other teams, and then the following week you know what's going on. So you're not like, okay, because I know sometimes we had to double back and ask as well. You're like, well, wait a minute, what did you do? Okay, you did this, you did that. So I think that could help.
I love it. Michael.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that I felt like I read Stacy's personal feedback and wanted to leave my own here, that I felt like I was a little more distant than I wanted to be with the cohort. I know that I would get in there and help y'all, but I still felt like I could have done more. So that's just on my mind, but times are tough. So yeah, I still hope that all of you got a lot out of the cohort. It sounds like you did, so I'm happy about that.
I love it. Megan.
I guess I agree with Devon, and some of the communicating across 4 ways too is a little bit harder without or being in Slack. Like the last threaded message we had for the last week was maybe now like 50 messages long, which might be hard to go back and, like Devon, when you asked about like we had figured out a font to use, I was like, oh yeah, that's like 50 messages up. Like maybe there's like some way that to record that clear. And then I agree with Nabil, maybe like do some design decisions or elements at the start, because then if you're going to use a component library or something like that, you can sort of like start planning out how those components will be. So now, like I did like using Tailwind and learning it, and I hate to say, like I do love having the creative outlet, but it's also a little bit crippling and decision making that you can do. So to kind of clean it up now, we would probably need to go back and refactor some of the CSS, you know, like you mentioned in the PR comments, to get rid of Bootstrap. And then we do have like a regular CSS file, and it's harder to figure out which ones are which. So yeah, doing that early on might be more helpful.
Yes, agree. Tansy.
I mean, just a consideration, it might be helpful to have some pre-work or pre-documentation to get settled so everyone's on the same page like before Collab Lab starts. I like the idea of office hours because sometimes you need someone to like visually walk you through something like Michael did with debugging, which I really appreciated. And it can also kind of assist in like maybe building like a relationship as well, because otherwise we have relationships on Slack and I just imagine you guys talking to me rather than it really happening. Yeah.
That checks out. I love that. Okay, me, I'm the last one. Or is the first one to add, so I'm the last one to go. That makes sense. Okay, personal feedback for me, like Ale and Michael were saying, I wasn't as present as I wanted to be for this cohort. I like, in the middle of this one, took on mentoring another Collab Lab cohort in which like I am the technical mentor of, which is weird for me because I'm so used to having like Michael and Ale to lean on for things. And now I've got me. I mean, I've always got Michael and Ale. I don't think they'd ever abandon me. But when it comes down to it, I'm like putting in a lot of work doing that. And it made me feel like I kind of neglected you all, which made me so sad because I love you so much. But you were doing fantastic. And I feel like, although it seems like, I'm just realizing now that we all kind of felt we weren't contributing as much as we wanted to, I feel like together, all of us kind of were able to cover the bases. So I appreciate Michael and Ale, what you could give to the cohort was amazing. So yes, more for me is like a feedback for self, balance your time a little better during a pandemic when you have to care for kids and work and do a bunch of other stuff too. Check, easy peasy, right? Okay, now the fun part. Let me move Zoom everywhere. What is next for you? Nabil Puffin, you're first.
Yeah, so I mean, it makes it a little difficult being in I'm still quarantining for the most part, so I'm
Basically,
still at home.
Right.
Yeah, but I really want to be able to participate, and there's a lot of tech programs here for youth in Oakland. I really feel like this at least puts me in a better position to help out in those areas. I also want to be able to like build my own products. I feel like I have that confidence there. Awesome, thank you for that, Yvonne. And then just like moving into a more technical role, I like whether that is there's a ton of positions for product designers who can also code, from like GitHub to Notion to like other like places. But yeah, but I feel like this kind of opened me up to doing more of those things. But yeah, that's it.
I love it. You're a superstar, and all of these are totally achievable for you because you are amazing and determined. Amazing job. Alejandro, what's up for you?
Sure. Yeah, same as Michael. Well, I mean, looking forward to help with in a future cohort. Not immediately, like tomorrow, but yeah, looking forward to keep mentoring. Also, I would like to spend some time learning new stuff. That means back in DevOps and hopefully do some open source. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
I love the idea of you learning new stuff because that means I get to learn new stuff. So yay. Megan.
This process helped really identify some of the things that I need to focus on and learning, because sometimes you get in those tutorial loops where I'm like, well, I feel like I know some of this stuff, but yeah, like learning hooks, working on higher order functionalities, like all the functional programming, and kind of dedicating time to work on this will help me like not be so lazy to be like, I don't feel like working on this right now. Just to continue to use this time to keep moving forward. Getting better with some basic design stuff for prototyping. I'm really interested in data visualization and had played with D3 before, but I'd like to continue to do that. I just got the W.E.B. Du Bois Data Viz book, and I think some of my practice will be to see if I could redo that in D3 or something. I don't know.
That's amazing.
I'll see how I say that, but I don't know how hard it's going to be. Yeah, and continue applying for jobs. Like I work in a weird space right now because I'm in an educational space, but I love helping the students, but I'm not sure of how long that job will last.
Yikes. And wow, this is so impressive. Your technical skills are incredible. And I have no doubt in my mind that you can't achieve every single one of these things. So proud of you, Megan. Devon.
So what's up next? Well, continuing the interview. So again, I feel like it's a big round of thank yous. But yes, thank you, Stacy, Andrew, actually Andrew, not Andrew, Michael, Alejandro, everybody. You guys have been amazing. So I'm just hoping to hopefully get to that point very, very soon where I can, come through like, Price is Right or something like, woo! So that is a big part. Definitely working on some projects that I had started before. There's a bunch of tutorials and other things, just trying to piece those together. I started my own like JavaScript study group, just going back and going over things. I actually connected you, Stacy, with Ciora. So so that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to. We're just kind of going through that, and that could actually be something. I don't know, like my own mini collab lab. So, and a bit ahead, but yeah, I agree with Michael. I would love to have a vacation, however that looks. I don't know, whatever, a day off just to sit. I don't know, do whatever. I don't know, go to the beach. I'm not too far. So yeah, that is what is up for me. Oh, and also, not now because I know we all have it, but I would love to kind of make this like a mobile app, like an actual downloadable app. I would love to actually use this. So yeah, put that in like the kind of near future thing. So because I'm not going anywhere, I'll be around in the Slack and everybody has my information. So
Devon, I love it that you're like community building. That is my favorite thing ever. And I can't think of a better person to do it. So good for you. I love it. Michael.
Yeah, I really like the idea of making the app like a mobile, I guess the website a mobile app. Talk to me afterwards. I have ideas of how you could do that really easily. So
okay, cool.
Yeah. Cool. I am looking forward to vacation, I guess, coming up here. I was just thinking about how we're halfway through the year and you should be like roughly halfway through your expected PTO days if you have those. So I'm evaluating that right now. And that's like the one thing on my mind. I'm looking forward to helping another cohort and some other stuff that I didn't write here. I'm looking to get more into writing. It's kind of like an off and on relationship for me. But I've been feeling more inspired lately. So I have some stuff cooking up. And I have this idea batting around the back of my head of making a tech podcast, but the idea is that it's a parody tech podcast, which, yeah, take it for what you will. Just kind of poking fun at the tech industry in general. Sometimes we take ourselves too seriously, so I think that would be fun.
Like the Silicon Valley of podcasts.
Yeah, like that.
That TV show, I love it.
We bring on some tech person to do an interview, and then not ask them one technical question. Like focusing on, because we're all humans, and that's.
I love that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Anyways, that's stuff that's on my mind right now.
I love it. Those are incredible things. I love the idea too of making us all more human. It's very cool. So if you do that, I can't wait. Okay. Tansy.
Okay, so ideally, I'd be going into graduate school in computational social science next year. Thank you, Andrew, for the rec, and everyone else for their input. But like, also, I'm seeking like part-time roles in like programming or technical writing just to get through all of that. But until then, I'll probably be like brushing up on statistics and like working on my video games, and that's kind of it.
That is amazing. Oh my gosh. You're brilliant. And I can't even with higher ed. That's like a full extra thing. Wow. Good for you. The smartest people. Oh my God, is it me already? Stacy, me. Mentoring TCL 8 again, like I was saying before, doing a lot more of the technical mentoring, which is weird. And it's making me have to like really dig into the things that I'm like suggesting and saying. Cause I'm like, before, like if I had Michael or Alejandro back me up, I'm like, I can say stuff and they'll correct me if I'm wrong. But now I'm like, now there's no one to correct me. Like I need to make sure I'm giving people good advice. So it's like causing me to like really dig deeper, which is actually really fascinating and solidifying a lot of the concepts that I like think that I know and maybe don't know like the full details of. So that's been really inspiring and fun and challenging. Working with Andrew on program enhancements because we're rolling out like this whole new application process and like program basically where we're starting 2 cohorts at once. And now we have like a 201 to Collab Lab and there's like a lot of stuff going on, a lot of automations that need to happen. And just like a lot of things we can put in place to sort of make the program smoother and like all this feedback we're getting in these retros and stuff can be applied to just make the program so much more brilliant and successful and helpful to people so that we can start like making the shifts in the industry that we want to make. And this like Collab Lab is like one of my little babies. I love you, but I love Collab Lab too. And it's like one of my favorite things to work on and gives me a lot of life in these like really challenging pandemic times. So doing a lot of that, doing a lot of momming. I'm going to take a break because what is that? I don't know, but I'm going to try it. And I'm going to get healthy. I don't know what that means, but that's on my to-do list. Like exercise or like eat less cheese quesadillas or something probably. We'll start there. Anyway, okay. Andrew.
Yeah, so what's next? So a few months ago, we applied to be an actual 501c3 nonprofit. Hopefully that comes through soon. I'm sure it's delayed because of all of this. Once that happens, it's going to unlock a bunch of things for us. Yeah, we're like Stacy mentioned, we're revamping the application selection process for cohorts. So we're kind of right in the middle of getting that organized. You probably saw some announcements about it and stuff. So we're trying to make sure that that goes smoothly the first time we do it and thereafter. But we're building up a training program. So we are engaging. You may have seen there's a GoFundMe that I just posted yesterday to kind of raise some money for. We're going to do it whether it gets fully funded or not. But just to do some training around how you go into an interview setting and if you're like me and like most people, like it's a pretty tense situation. Like it's stressful. Like there's a lot on the line and stuff. So this training is to help you kind of like find your authentic voice and kind of coach yourself through those situations and stuff. So there's going to be a group session that everyone can attend, and then there's going to be individual coaching sessions for people as well. So that's sort of our first kind of big outside of a cohort training thing that we're going to be doing. Anyway, there's a ton going on. So we just I really encourage all of you. Like this is a community. Like this is you've formed a team here. There are 8 other cohorts who've done the same thing, and you have this shared experience with a bunch of people who are all kind of in the same situation, who can support each other, who can, they're there for you, and like you can lean on them. There's so much talent in this in Collab Lab. Y'all could just start a company and just like take over the world, I think. So, we've got it on this call. We have an MBA, we have a product manager, we have a computational scientist, we have some amazing tech skills. We like you. Right here, there's a company like staring me in the face right on this call. If you all just wanted to do that, so anyway, whatever you do, just please keep in touch and stay, check the Slack team once in a while, and let us know how we can help you.
Yes, all of that times 1 million. We're here for you. This is not the end of it. This is the end of it, kind of. But this is not the end of it. But I say that meaning this is your app now, to do with it what you will. If there's other things you want to have done on it, you can. Don't feel obligated. This cohort is coming to an end today, so you have no more like obligations to finish something that you thought you had to finish. But if you want to, by all means, take care of the app. Do what you want with it. Document it, make the bugs, make the feature requests, whatever you want to do. It's yours. We're here for you. Make sure you share the things that you learned that you think are inspiring with, the future collabbies in Slack, with your teammates here in Slack, with us in Slack. And we want to keep hearing from you. We want to keep supporting you. So let us know how we can help.
Yep.
With that, anything else from anybody? It's really hard for me to hang up on this final call every single time. So I'll just drag it out forever.
Reach out. We should all connect on Twitter, because I keep up with people from the last cohort that I mentored on Twitter. I'll just drop in and talk to them from time to time. So I really enjoy that. So if you're on Twitter, find me. I'm Michael Schulte on there.
Yeah, and I think I've sent LinkedIn requests to everybody, but let's definitely connect on LinkedIn so that in the future, if you need a recommendation or you need just like, hey, can you introduce me to this person or something like that, I'm happy to do those things.
Yes, that. I'm going to stop my share so I can see all your lovely faces. There you are.
And I can attest to that. So please reach out to Andrew.
Yeah, we've been doing a little work.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have.
Even more collaboration, endless collaboration. That's what we're all about. Okay, well, with that, I love you all.
Thank you, everybody.
Sunday meeting.
Thank you.
All going to do amazing. Oh, the picture. Oh, my God.
Screenshot.
Thank you.
Oh, well, maybe we almost got out of it.
All right. Let's see. Okay, that wasn't it.
Okay.
No.
You gotta give
ready?
us a 1, 2, 3.
It's set. 1, 2. Smile, baby. 1, 2, 3. Is it happening?
I don't know.
Okay, it was happening.
Okay. All right.
It's the first time I used like my actual Mac to do a screenshot and not Zappy. So that's why I was like, is this doing it right? Use Zappy, final plug. Okay.
Right.
Love you all. Have a good week. Don't be
All
scared.
right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.